Even if we had 140 million people, I am sure we could not fight like they did. We simply value human life. In this episode, we will go to the positions of the Omega Special Forces and see how they repelled the Russian assault in the Avdiivka sector. We will also talk to local residents and see how the occupiers are destroying the once peaceful city of Avdiivka. This is what real genocide looks like. That is the situation there? I like the way it sounds in military reports of different levels. In general, they say that the situation in Avdiivka is difficult but controlled. Here, the enemy used several units and pulled together reserves. They were preparing. We knew what they were preparing. They attacked from several directions. That is, everything looked like a book. Beautiful. But the reality now is that they have not succeeded so far. It is clear that there are always local successes, because having used so much equipment and such a human reserve, and actually having destroyed it, it is impossible not to achieve certain successes. At the moment, they cannot continue to advance as actively as before. They have completely changed their tactics to attacking with small infantry groups. It is from 3 to 15 people, but no more. Why? Because their equipment was destroyed, in fact, within 10 days. And now their ability to assault has been significantly reduced. For me, Russia is kind of an Asian style, and we are Europeans. And in the European sense, the social value of a person is much higher. In the Russian sense, a person simply has no social value. If he died, he died. They will take the next ones. Even if we had 140 million people, I'm sure we would not be able to fight like they do. They send one group to attack. They are destroyed by artillery. 5 minutes later, when I don't expect anything, we look and there is already a second group coming. And they realize where they are going. They realize that they are going to be destroyed. I don't understand this, how you can treat your soldiers like that. We simply value human life. We are in Avdiivka. Russian troops have again launched assault operations on several flanks of this area, and the Omega Special Forces unit has moved to support the Ukrainian armed forces. At the moment, they are setting up targets and will be firing on the Russian infantry using 120mm mortars. If you have the coordinates, we're ready to work. They're near the village, right? Mortar! Shot. Keep it up. Mortar. Shot. At the moment, the enemy is attacking one of our positions. They are now at our former position, which is still under enemy control, and they are pulling up their reserves from there. We are firing at them from a 120mm mortar. We made 7 shots. We are now adjusting targets and continuing our work. Shot. Shot. 28? No, 38. Ukrainian BMP are also firing. It is very loud here in Avdiivka. There is a battle going on. The Russian army is trying to storm the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. They are actually repelling this assault. There are a lot of such assaults every day, so both the Special Forces and the AFU are inflicting fire on the enemy and holding back the Russian army. Shot. A shell. South, 26-25. Ready, fire. Now the Omega fighters have opened fire with SPG. They are being corrected by a drone. They continue to fire on Russian troops. At the same time, in parallel, the enemy is firing at the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces with a mortar. It is clearly heard here. It's loud. Target in sight. Plus. Shot.
Постріл! 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 Постріл!
Are you not afraid here? They shoot and shoot. We're used to it. It's so long. We don't have a basement. We can live in the apartments as we used to. Every day the windows are smashed. We cover them with whatever we can. Are you baking here? This is the furnace, and I fried this in a frying pan. Did volunteers bring you the furnace, or is it yours? A neighbor gave it to me. They left. Yeah, it's essential here. Of course, at least it's warm in the house. I woke up at 4 o'clock. The mice were running around the house. They didn't let me sleep. So I thought, since I'm awake, I'll make some pies. I can't sleep anyway. Now it gets dark early. I go to bed at 6 p.m., so I can't sleep in the morning. When it was lighter, I used to go to bed at 9 to 10. You toss and turn. Something flies here every day, and today there were explosions. I stood here, hugged myself like this, and prayed for this disaster to pass. This is where I sleep. I am alone. My husband died 11 years ago. It's like this. Everything is fine. In Avdiivka itself, every house has been hit. As you've seen, the fighting is ongoing, but some locals have stayed. According to the preliminary information, More than 1,500 people live here, mostly elderly people.
Ми потрапили до одного із жителів Авдіївки.
We have just spoken to a resident of Avdiivka, and she refuses to leave, despite the fact she says it's scary when the shells fly.
Летять снаряди.
And they are flying here every minute.
Вулиця Грушевського,
81 Rushevskoho Street in Avdiivka.
Подивіться.
Look how everything looks here now.
От таких символів Авдіївки. У нас тут
There are many much symbols of destroyed Avdiivka here.
багато. Російська
The Russian army
армія
is simply
просто
destroying
нищить
residential
житловий
buildings.
будинок. Ми бачимо,
As you can see, this is not a military facility. The enemy is just destroying all the houses they see.
будинки, які тільки бачать.
It is a zone of total destruction.
Руйнування.
Civilians still live here. Are there still people living in this house? Yes. Look how everything has been turned around. There was a kiosk here. A bomb hit it, and this is the result. It's terrible. This is how Russian world comes in. It was a kindergarten.
Ось такі.
This is the kind of military facilities that Russians are destroying in Avdiivka.
Будинок. На стінах залишились.
Look, there are pictures of people who lived here on the walls. Drawings, a chair. Now everything is destroyed.
Ось так все.
Another military project. This is what real genocide looks like.
Об'єкт. Так виглядає справжній,
This is what real genocide looks like.
друзі. Так. Отак російська армія.
This is how the Russian army is carrying out the genocide of the Ukrainian people. If you were interested in today's episode and would like me to continue doing episodes like this next, then let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment. You can support the author by the details in the description. Thank you.